Positive energy, you know the deal. Rep your city, rep your city. To everybody on Kick, I'm representing Chicago. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, and everybody on Facebook. I am representing Chicago, Illinois. We got London in the building. We got London in the building. Come on in and rep your city. Represent your city. Body sculpture challenge still going strong. Walk 5 miles. That's what's up. Yeah, I've been hitting the weights. I got to get back to recording. I haven't been recording, but yeah, I've been hitting those weights and trying to eat more. It's rough. We got New Jersey in the building. Yeah, I've been hitting those weights, man, and I had to increase my protein intake, and the workout's going great, but the sleep is I'm not used to sleeping that hard, you know. Like I exercise, but it's just different than bodybuilding and actually putting on more size. It's a different type of sleep. Exercising is just regular sleep. You just sleep well. But bodybuilding is like a scientific experiment. You know? It's like a scientific experiment when you're bodybuilding. I can't explain. It's all I can think of is like a scientific experience, a different type of sleep. Like you're in some kind of chamber or something when you sleep. It's definitely unusual. I can tell I'm very sensitive to my body. I just turned 68. So I'm used to my body being a certain type of way. And now that I'm actually putting on muscle, it's a totally different type of sleep. We got Chattown in the building. I imagine that's Chattanooga. Shout out to Chattanooga. I spent a lot of time in Chattanooga, Nashville. We got Brinkston in the building. Yeah, salute to all my people down in Tennessee. I can't wait to get down there and see everybody again. Knoxville, Nashville, Chattanooga. Some cool people in Tennessee. Y'all just don't know. Tennessee is cool. We got B-More in the building. Baltimore is in the house. Everybody rep your city, rep your city. Let us know where you're from, what you represent. Yeah. Whew. So I got a crazy conversation. I just got off the phone on a 3-way with 2 people hollering in the background. Shout out to Ra and them. Boy. Talking about they want to go on the book tour with me. Ron, you could go, but Starvin Marvin, boy and them, I ain't taking y'all nowhere with me like that. Y'all be over whooping. Yeah. Oh, your daughter was born on February 22nd? Oh, boy. You know, when I was young, that was the greatest birthday ever because it's George Washington's birthday. So I never had to go to school, so I never had to get my licks. You know, when I grew up, you got licks. I don't think they get licks no more. So if you're 8, you get 8. All the kids get to hit you 8 times. If you're 9, all the kids get to hit you 9 times. I got to hit everybody, but nobody ever got to hit me because school was out. Then they cheated me and slapped my birthday with Abraham Lincoln birthday, called it President's Day. But by then I wasn't in school, so I didn't have to get no licks. So I was talking to a couple of the guys. I don't like the word guys, but that's what they call themselves, the guys. And they had been watching something on social media. I don't know what they was watching, but boy, they was really arguing. So I wanted to know what the fuss about, and they was talking about PC. They was arguing about PC, protective custody. And they was said somebody went to protective custody. I couldn't hear in the background. And then they got mad when I said I would go to protective custody, and then they got mad. They told me that ain't gangster. They said, Pharaoh, man, what you talking about, folks? What you mean you'll go to PC? I said, I'll go to PC. They're like, no, man, punks go to PC, bro. That's what they said. They told me punks go to PC. They said if I go to PC, I'm a punk. Suge Knight said, hell no. That's what they told me, Asiatic. They told me if I go to PC, I'm a punk. I said, what? That's what they told me. I told them I go to PC dependent. It's a lot of variables. So I said, let me come talk about this and see what everybody else says. I'm a punk if I go to PC? I didn't know that. I thought a punk was just a punk. I didn't think you could be a punk if you ain't no punk. But I don't know. So I said, let me go talk to the fam on YouTube. They'll tell me. So, okay, this is what they say. They say, listen, Pharaoh, if you go get in trouble, boom, you go to jail, you got to ride it out like a Jeep. You can't be going to PC. I said, I'll go to PC. They said, but they ain't like that. So I told one of the guys, I said, okay, so I go to prison, I go to PC, I get out, I see you. What you gonna say to me? He talk about it's protective custody. Okay, let me show you what PC is. PC is protective custody in prison. It's a safe, segregated housing status used to protect vulnerable inmates from violence, typically resulting from threats, offenses, or being an informant or a rat. Prisoners in PC are usually isolated in single cells for up to 23 hours a day, similar to solitary confinement, with minimal access to general population activity. It is designed to keep them safe, but it often brings serious psychological distress, I guess because you're isolated a long time. Conditions of protective custody, segregation. Inmates are separated from the general population, often to single cells. Now, I wouldn't like that part. You know, I ain't got nobody to tell jokes. I don't got nobody to talk crazy to. So, restrictive movement. Prisoners may be locked up in their cells for up to 23 hours a day with limited time for showers or in some cases small cage recreation area. I wouldn't like that either. Increased security. High risk, high profile inmates are heavily guarded when moved. Limited access, socializing, and programming are heavily restricted. Now, they used to say Boozy Badass, Kodak Black, and TK and 6ix9ine. From what I understand, I've seen Boozy say, you ain't supposed to go to PC. So we say the PC ain't safe. The PCI's got their own gang. Just because you're a snitch or a PDF file doesn't mean you ain't yeah, exactly. That's exactly. So I was telling them, I'd have to check out the various situations. If I had to go to PC and still go on the yard, I'd just stay in the regular part. But if I could go to the PC and be locked up for 23 hours a day, I'd take that. So you in there for threats, you're an informant, high profile inmate, specific crimes, personal safety, requesting it. Inmates could request PC, that's me. Official assignment releases from PC. So they was big mad, man. They said no, they wanted to excommunicate me, Asiatic. They wanted to excommunicate. They said I'm bogus. They said I'm not supposed to go to PC. I mean, there ain't nobody lying on me. I mean, if somebody lied on me with a bogus charge, I can't see that happening. I can't see how I would lose. You know, I can't see how you would lose that. You got to be you got to be moving crazy for that. But it could have, that can't happen to me. So I can't see how that could happen. But I mean, if it was like some regular crime, somebody lied and they said I robbed a bank or something, I mean, that wouldn't be no different than any other crime, you know? But they would say, no, 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 no. They said I can't go to PC. That's what they said. They said if I go to PC, I'm a punk. I'm a punk if I go to PC. What the hell you mean? I don't understand. I didn't understand that. What y'all think? You a punk if you go to PC? I didn't think you know punk if you go to PC. I don't that don't make a lot of sense. I didn't understand that part. So I asked one of the guys on the phone, I said, okay, if I went to PC and I got out, what would you say to me? He talking about you, you made a good point. I know I made a good point. You ain't gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying? What did you talk about? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's take me for example. I go to PC, I get out. What you gonna say? You know what I'm saying? What? Because I went to PC, I'm not on dummy. What the what? Bruh. So they was mad. So finally they said, okay, bro. So why would you go to PC? They wanted to know why would you, if you ain't no punk, you ain't scared of being around everybody, Why would you go to PC? And I told him straight up, first off, general population. First off, I can't just say I'll go because I have to see how much time I got, right? You got to see how much time you got. That makes a difference too. Because you ain't going to want to do no 20, 30 years in PC. That could not be healthy, right? That might not be healthy. But if I'm looking at a 7-piece, a 5-piece, yeah, I'd go to PC. So they said, why? So I told Ron, I said, Ron, what was the worst thing about the county? We was in the Cook County together. Nothing happened. I was in there 4 months. What was the worst thing? He said, they won't never shut up. Bam, 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 bam. Bam. They don't shut up, man. Nah, you can request PC. You can request PC. They'll put you in there. They don't never shut up. Yes, yes, yes. The PC. I don't like the day room. They yap. This one, that one don't like that one, and that one, and that one. No, no. If I could get away from general population, yes, bet that. See, so then they like, oh man, we didn't even think about that, man. We thought you was on some punk stuff. No, bro, you know me. I don't want to be locked up with all that. Okay? Oh God, Goshen, it's like a bunch of little kids. It's the worst. Then I hit them with the big one. In general population, you'll mess around and catch more time. Listen, you got 5 years, right? Go in general population. You're liable to end up with 10 years. Facts. Man, general population, you can end up with more time. You understand? Because it ain't no, especially if you're affiliated like myself, ain't no stand up to yourself if you one of the guys. Ain't none of that. It ain't no stay up to yourself at general population. If I'm in general population, I'm gonna be in the mix. I already know I'm gonna be in the mix. I'm gonna be in the mix. I mess around and catch another 7 years easily, and they won't shut up, and they always beefing, and it's haters, and you gotta be on super monster at least. If you're gonna be in there, let's say you're in there 6 months. How many times you gotta be on Monster Goon time? You got to be out of 6 months. You're gonna have to be Monster Goon, and Monster Goon lasts like 3 days. You're gonna have to be Monster Goon 6 months. You're gonna be Monster Goon at least 4 times, maybe 3. Yeah. You ever been around a whole bunch of dummies, like a whole lot of them? You ever been around a whole bunch of people with no education, like really dumb, like ain't been to school since like the 5th grade and stuff? Never finished, never went to 7th, 8th grade of high school at all. I mean, totally illiterate. You ever been around them? Come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't no way. Boy, listen. So when I start saying that, they're like, man, I ain't think about all that. Well, hey, think about it. Think about it. Don't nobody want to be bothered with that. I want to come home. I want to go come home. Then you never the number one gangster. There ain't no number one gangster in prison. Ain't no number one. Tory Lanez didn't use PC the way he's supposed to use PC. He out there walking around. He should have stayed in his cell because he got hurt. He wasn't in his. He out there. You know what I'm saying? You understand? He was out there. See, if I'm in PC, I'm not coming out my cell. I ain't coming out. I am my commissary, and I'm in. I'm not going out there walking around out there. They're like, you'll just stay in yourself, bruh. You know, walk around out there, you could get hurt. You're going to get more time. Dude like, man, I ain't going to lie, man. He told the truth, man. He said, I went in. He said, I had 3. He said, I ended up doing 4.5 with time off because some stuff popped off. I said, yeah. They don't talk about that. You messing with general population, you could get more time. Anybody, now Lil Boosie, I seen him talk about I think he was talking about Turk, saying Turk went to PC, shouldn't have went to PC. But then Boosie begging Trump not, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, shut up. You know, shut up. You know what I'm saying? He begging Trump not to go back to prison. But he tripping because Turk went to PC. Little Boosie with that fake gangster stuff he be on, he need to stop. Man, let me tell you something. Woo. The county jail. He was talking about Kodak Black. I thought Turk went to PC too. I thought both of them went to PC. I thought Turk went to PC too. Him and Kodak. If I ain't mistaken. Somebody looked that up. I thought they both. Oh, Turk was just defending Kodak. Turk was defending Kodak for doing that. Okay, I get it. Well, they was talking about it on the phone, so I couldn't understand. Right. That okay. They was talking about it on the phone, so I don't know. They was saying all of that, so all I know is they were saying somebody went to PC and they didn't like it, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Now Kodak got serious ops down there in Florida. I wouldn't have went to. I wouldn't if I was Kodak. I wouldn't have went. I wouldn't have went to general population either. Down there with them Haitians. Come on, man. That man might not never got out of there. And you famous like that? Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Kodak Black? in Florida, prison, PC for sure. Because they're going to try to extort him. He's short. He ain't that big. Yeah, Turk was defending them. I ain't watched them. I'm just going by the guys on the phone. They didn't clarify. They was just arguing that somebody went to PC and you shouldn't go to PC. And they got mad because I said I would go to PC. But I'm glad y'all let me know. And then they got mad because I said I go to PC. And then it's like you be getting too disrespectful because I said if I got out and you said something, you'll go to HP, you know? If you a gangster, if I'm a gangster and I go to PC, what's somebody gonna do about it? That's why I was confused. I'm saying, okay, if you a gangster and you go to PC, what's gonna happen? I was confused. I understand. I'm like, if you a gangster and don't nobody play with you and go to PC, they gonna start playing with you? I'm going to PC. And they say, so you trying to dodge smoke? No, I'm trying to dodge. Y'all talk too much. Too much noise. Everybody got their reason. I get it. But that all day, I can't do it. I can't do it. You ever been around a crowd of dudes till they lock you up, till lockdown? You ever experience that? Ain't no way. It's yeah, all day. Beef, all day. They don't never shut up. They don't never shut up. It's drama like a soap opera full of girls. That's what it's like. Talk about the gangsters in the yard. Man, them ain't no gangsters. A lot of them is messing with men. So I'm confused because they try to say a gangster got rules. I thought a gangster don't got no rules. So I'm asking myself, if I'm a gangster, y'all could give me rules? I thought I could do whatever the hell I want to do. And then they like, well, people look down on you. I said, man, how you going to look down on me if I ain't going to even be around you like that? I got to be around you for you to look down on me. If you're my op and you check in the PC, what's stopping me from checking in the PC to get at you? You could check in the PC and get at me, right? But you just one person. If you're in general population, it's crazy stuff going on all the time. It ain't about just no person trying to get at you. When you in any general population, whether it's prison, county jail, man, it's a constant headache. You in there with losers, uneducated, troublemakers, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day, every day. Even if you're a boss, you still, if I could get away from them, even if they ain't gonna do nothing to me, I want to get away. I want to go to PC. I want to go to PAQ. Peace and quiet. I'll stay in my tip. You come in my tip, I'll deal with you when you get there. But I ain't finna be out there floating around in PC either. I ain't going to PC to run around with no bunch of PC losers either. I'm trying to stay in my cell. Now, if you want smoke, you got to come to my cell. But I'm not trying to float around with y'all. Period. All day, every day, all day, every day. Oh man, it's the worst. It's the worst. The key is to get the hell out of there, not to be the big man in the prison or in the county. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what it is. Man, it's the Lady Lioness. It's the worst ever. It's the worst. Just all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. Conflict resolution, all day. And then the OGs is ODs, old dummies. They dumb as hell. They dumb. It ain't no OGs in there with no education or nothing. The whole place is dummies. Like if you got some intelligence like me, you like one out of every what, 300-400? I'm talking about the dumbest people you ever met in your life. You don't only you have to hear, because they always at it. And they just make noise all day. An empty can make the most noise. So they just make noise all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. You got to understand, these ain't just criminals. These the dumbass criminals. These ain't just criminals. These are the dumbest criminals that crime could have produced. These dumb criminals. These the dumb ones. I'm telling you, these are the dumbest criminals. Facts. You disagree? When you was locked up, I was with the most intelligent. Okay, so when you was locked up, it was a whole bunch of intelligent people in there, because you got some intelligent dummies too. Oh, they can philosophize, they can kick, but they dumb as hell. Yeah, the intellects be stupid too. Ask the intellect what they in there for. The intellect, he know the science. They get, I don't want to be around them either. I don't want to be around them either. I was in there with them. Oh, they highly intellectual. Unless you real intelligent for real, you can see you've been practicing. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you ain't as dumb as you was when you first got locked up at 14. But you still a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking to me. And I don't want them talking to me. Okay? I don't want them to talk to me. And then you got the intellect, then you got the religious. They found Allah in there. You can tell he ain't not. Like, he only with God because nobody else messed with him. He locked up. So he'd be like, well, I'm locked up now. Ain't nobody else around. My mom and them and all them. I'm going to give my life to Allah. Allah the only one going to fuck with you, dude. Allah is the only one. That's because Allah don't talk back. God, Jesus, Allah don't talk back. So you don't know they don't really mess with you, right? Because they can't tell you. You know what I'm saying? But if Allah and God and Jesus could talk, they'll tell you, shut up talking to them. And heaven is better off without you there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what they would tell you. All of a sudden, you holy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never been worth nothing your whole damn life. You got to get locked up. Now you holy. Man, if you don't get your ass out of it, I bet you is holy. I want to be around them either. That's why I tried that one. Mm-mm. PC. And they slow. You know, Big Pharaoh smart. You know, they slow. PC. That's the place to be. That's why you don't do crime, because the criminals that's going to do crime with you is dumb. That's a fact. So young brothers, don't. You know what I'm saying? And if you get locked up, go to PC. Tell them Big Pharaoh told you to go to PC. You want to get back home to your family, all right? So all the young brothers watch me, Big Pharaoh finna give you game, right? You got to be slick out here. Now peep game. Peep this game. Bam. Federal. Standard. 5 days, 54 days per year for good behavior. Right? Right? Are you looking, young men? 54 days off your time for good behavior. Pop, pop, pop. Okay? 2 months. If you got 36 months, 30. Then if you do that, you're gonna go home in like 18, 20 something. You're going home. You're going home because first, they automatically giving you time off your sentence. Second, you ain't getting in no trouble. You're going home. Listen to Big Pharaoh. You want to go home, right? I did. The more people you're around, your chances of getting in more trouble go up. The less people you're around, your chances of getting more time, getting more trouble go down. This is just common sense. You're trying to go home. You're not trying to be the toughest dude in the prison. So soon as you check yourself in the PG, in the PC, they dropping your time. Right there. You going home early. Just for doing that, you going home early. Ask somebody. You're going home early. So the dude got mad. That's why I say he got mad at me, because I say, you're going to be the tough dude on the yard still in there, and I'm going to be at home. Yeah, I'm going to be the dude that went to PC, and I'm going to be home I barely going to do 2 years. I'm going to be at home. I'm going to go home. I'm going to go home because they're going to be like, he don't mess with nobody. He stay off to himself. He in PC. He ain't no gangster. Send him home. Why you want to be a gangster? You don't want to be no gangster. If you's a real great criminal like I was, you tell the judge, I ain't no gangster, Your Honor. This is all a big mistake. I'm just a good boy. That's the game, I thought. I thought the game was to be a good boy when you're talking to them people. You ain't going to court. Yeah, Your Honor, I'm all that. I don't want to go to PC. I'm Big Pharaoh. I'm a gangster. You know what I'm saying? What? No, you want to go to court and say, Your Honor, this was all a big misunderstanding. None of that stuff was mine. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. I'm just a good boy. I thought that's how the game go. I thought bad boys move inside. I thought a real criminal is not a criminal when you ask them. Oh, no, not me. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, no. This is all a big, giant misunderstanding. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no criminal. I got to go to PC. This is understanding. They should lock me up in here with all these hardened criminals. I don't care if everybody think I'm a punk. That way, if you be there and something happened to you, they ain't gonna say I did. I don't know what happened to him. I remember I'm a punk. I'm scary, so I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. It's one of these mean, tough guys did that to him. One of these tough, mean guys did that to him. Not me. Look at me. I'm just as innocent as you know, if you're a real criminal, you got to be a liar. Okay? What is we doing? I don't know what kind of criminal tells the truth. That's why I quit crime. I had to quit because they wanted me to be an honest, truthful criminal. What? Criminals is liars. If you're a real gangster, Yana, I haven't seen nothing, I haven't done nothing. This is all a big misunderstanding. Well, look, Yana, I wouldn't hurt a flea. I don't know what happened to the guy. I ain't did nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. I don't know. I don't want to talk to you and see around you. I don't want to be around none of that. I'm going to go home. I don't go to PC and go home. I don't want to be tough and be in here. I definitely don't want to be around y'all, period, which is my main thing. I don't want to be around y'all. It's too much noise. Anybody in here been to prison or to the county jail for a long time? Do you remember the noise all day? And even when they lock them up, it's another hour and a half to 2 hours of noise still. Just noise, Then you got the crazy ones just holler for hours. It's the worst. There's no peace of mind. Too much noise. Put me in PC. It's going to be some noise, but it ain't going to be like the main population. I ain't crazy. I know it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's too much noise. And then everybody come get right to you too, right? See, in PC, when you come in, you got to go through a process before they bring you over there where I'm at. But if I'm in general population, right? Soon as dude come in there, I got to see him. Soon as he walk in there, you see him, you know, you got to see the worst of the worst. Soon as they hit the yard, soon as they hit the prison, you got to see dude. First 30 minutes he there. So if you're in PC, you're not seeing nobody the first 30 minutes they there. They got to go through a process to even get where you at. But if you're in general population, you seeing them as they coming in. They constantly coming in too. They constantly coming in. People going on, new ones coming in. Going on, new ones coming in. And then it's like this. Dudes come in there and they see you and they just don't like you. All that gangster stuff, that's not real. They don't care what you is. It's haters. They don't know you from a can of paint. Soon as they come in there and see you, they don't like you. You don't even know why. So I could be in general population for 2 years, getting along with everybody. They lock dude up. He don't like me. Why? Nobody don't know. I got beef. I don't even know. I don't even know why. I don't know if y'all been around a lot of black men like that, but it's a large percentage of black men that's just haters to the core. You don't got to do nothing. You don't got to say nothing. They just don't like you. So the idea you already locked in with everybody, that's not real either. Because a brand new hater just come in there and don't like you. Period. So if you're in general population, you got to be a monster 24/7. Ain't no, you understand? If you put me in general population, I'm on go until I go home. Period. So which one I want to be? I want to be in my cell, 1 hour to shower and locked up chilling, or I want to be on demon time constantly. Because if I'm in general population, I'm going to be on demon time. I'm going to just tell you. I can only speak for myself. You put me in general population, I'm on demon time. Period. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in hell. On everything. Don't even look at me crazy. So I'm going to get more time. I'm going to get more time. I know I'm going to get more time. You're going to get more time. Your chances, I got friends went in there for a 4-piece, ended up doing it was in there 7 years and got out early because they was up to 9, messing around in there with them losers, catching cases in there. You're going to catch cases in there. You get caught with a weapon, boom, that's more years, you know. You get caught without a weapon, that's less years. You get unalive. So what you going to do? You going to get unalive or you going to take a chance and pack? See what I'm saying? So now which one I want to do? I want to walk around with a weapon that if I get caught with, I can get more time, or I want to be in my cell reading a book and get out early. I'd rather be in my cell in PC, reading a book, come out, get my shower, and go back. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't want to be on monster time in general population because that's what it is. Don't tell me about no gang because it's your fellow gang member the one going to do you dirty. On what I saw, it's one of the guys. Whatever you is, one of them is most likely the one going to do something to you. That's a fact. They don't want to tell that part. So these dudes be like, no, you can't be scared. You got to walk the main yard and stuff. They don't be telling people the truth, what it's like in there. They be selling fairy tales. You already know. And don't nobody want to hear that all day, do they? And I'm talking about, listen, you go to prison or the county jail, you in hater central. You is with all the haters. That's the haters. It's full of haters. I'm telling you. There's some cool brothers in there, but out of 100% of population, the cool brothers is probably only about 20%. I give them 30. 70% in there, haters. I'm talking about just hate to the bone. I had a dude, he come in there. He was an OG. He had rank. He got to sleep on the floor because there's 2 bunks. He got to sleep on the floor. He's sick from them substance abuse. You know, when they on that H, they be sick. They need sugar, right? They need sweets. right? Seriously, it's crazy. See, this is the stuff you got to deal with, right? So he on the floor sick, right? I'm making big conversation. I'm giving him candy bars and I'm giving him juice and candy bars to stop him from being D sick, right? Cool. Eventually, they move him to another cell. Wow, cool. Now, I done basically took care of this man when he comes straight off the street sick. Some stuff go down. I get some stuff in there. I don't want it. I give it to my man. You deal with that. You know, because my queen bought too much. She just wanted a little bit. She bought all that stuff. I don't want that stuff. I'm not trying to go to jail in jail. So when he see I give my man this stuff and tell him, man, do whatever you're going to do with it and pay your lawyer, whatever, I don't want it. The dude is sick. He started hating on me. He started hating on me because I gave it to somebody I was close to. I don't even know you. Just like that, for no reason. So one morning we get up, we brush our teeth, I come out, and he say, you know, Pharaoh, in prison. And I cut him up. I said, you already be out of here. I didn't say that. I said words. I'm just showing you that, hey, I come out the bathroom early in the morning. He walk up, he said, you know, in prison. I said, in prison, you would have been gone already if me and you was locked up. He like, as it should be. And I'm thinking, shut up, punk. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Boy, you a fiend. You can't really give it no real gangster. You what? Now, why you say that to me? For no reason. He don't know me for a can of bait. Yeah, they'll tell. If you tell them anything, you don't talk to nobody. Everybody I talked to, I lied. I told them, same thing I told the judge. It wasn't mad. I'm in here for something I didn't do. I told everybody that. But I'm just showing you this dude just started hating on me for who knows what. When I gave the dude the stuff, the one dude insinuated I gave the dude the stuff like the dude was some kind of bully or something. When I got rid of the stuff because I didn't want that. I didn't want that. I mean, I'm in here, y'all in. I don't want that. I had told somebody to bring me a little something, and they bought a whole bunch, and I got rid of it. You know what I'm saying? They tried, the dude I gave it to, they tried to act like I was a punk because I gave it to dude. Dude gave it to somebody downstairs that delivered the food. The dude downstairs got caught with it, got 7 years on his sentence. He wasn't even found guilty yet. Whatever they going to find him for, they threw another 7 years on whatever he was going. So no, what I want with this? A bunch of pump faking and a bunch of rah, which, man, I'm just trying to tell the young brothers, if you can go to PC, go to PC. Because you're trying to go home. If you go to PC, you're going to get less time to keep your nose clean, get a job in there. They're going to give you more time off for that. Work in the kitchen or something. If they got school, go to school. Everything you do going to get you home early. When you go in front of the judge and he look at all that, he be like, you know, okay, you're looking at 5, you did 1. With all this you did, I can let you out in a year and a half, but I tell you what, I'm going to let you out right now. But you got to promise me you go, yeah. The judge would be like, I'm going to let you out right now. With all you did, you still could get out in a year and a half. But you know what? I'm going to let you out right now. When he looked, oh, you trying to do something positive. All right, go home. I got enough losers in here. I don't need you in here with them. Don't be listening to people talking about, oh, go in there You're going to be a gangster. You got to go on the yard. Man, the yard going to get you more time. The yard is full of losers, haters, and backstabbers, and dudes that got 50 years that don't want you to go home. That's a fact. When you get around dudes that's doing a lot of time, their main goal is to make sure you do time with them. That's a fact. And then if you're a gangster, if you're a gangster and you go to PC, what's somebody going to do about it? How you going to tell me you're a gangster, but then you go to PC and then you scared? If you're a gangster, you're going to go to PC and ain't nobody going to do nothing. What they going to do? Yeah, I'll go to PC. Like I told dude on the phone. So if I went to PC and I got out, which one of y'all will say something? They talking about, you got a point. Yeah, I got a point. Yeah, I got a point. You ain't going to say nothing. I told them I'll come right out and tell y'all I've been to PC, and y'all ain't going to say nothing. Cut the funny stuff out. The yard, PC, that don't do this. When you got this in the heart like that, it don't matter where you at. That don't matter. How you gonna say you a gangster? You let somebody punk you and tell you can't go to PC. Nigga, I'm a gangster. I go where I want to go. What is you talking about? What is me? What? Y'all tell everybody I'm going to PC. Don't worry about where I'm going. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. I don't want to be around y'all. I want to go home. I don't want to hear the noise. If I could have a cell, especially if I got like a 5-piece. Now, if I got a lot of time, I might just go ahead to the yard because I don't think it'd be healthy to be in PC for no 20 years or nothing like that. So if I got 20 years or something like that, I'm going to just roll the dice. I didn't roll the dice for my life anyway. So if I got 20 years or 15 or a 10-piece, that's a life sentence anyway. Anyway, in there, you could not come out anyway. So I might as well go on general population, get with the nonsense. But if I got 5 years or less, I don't got to get with the nonsense. So it depends on how much time you got. But you give me 5 or down, even 7. You give me a 7-piece, I'm going to PC. Because if you give me a 7-piece, if I go to PC and I get busy, I can leave in 2.5. I can still leave in 2.5. You can get out of there if you play the good guy. They will send you home. Because they looking at you when you taking up a bed. And like, we got Pharaoh in here. He got to do 7. He'd have been here 2. He doing everything right. We got all these dudes getting locked up acting crazy. We need a bed. Get him out of that bed and bring this dude that just did this crazy stuff and put him in there. So you got to understand, and they need the beds. It ain't that they want to send you home. They only got so many rooms in prison. So if you can show yourself to be halfway decent, they're going to let you in to bring in the real monsters. They're like, get him out of here. He taking up space. Bring some monsters in here in his space. He got to go. I'm telling you the facts. I'm talking to the young brothers. Don't let nobody tell you, man, go to PC. If you could get to PC, go to PC. Don't be trying to prove nobody you tough. You're already tough. You don't got to prove it. Don't go to jail in jail. That's why I got rid of that stuff, because I said, I'm not finna go to jail in jail. I get caught with that stuff. That's 7 years. Who want to go to jail in jail? You in jail and you're going to jail in jail? You in prison and you're going to prison in prison? You catch a prison case while you in prison? No, you want to get away from the trouble. Little Boosie talking crazy. Little Boosie talking about he don't go to PC when he let another young man take his case, his original case. He ain't even stand up for his original case. He had another young dude threw his life away for Lil Boosie. Lil Boosie just be talking. Lil Boosie just be talking. He all sick and thin like that. Man, they'll do him dirty in there. He ain't that. He just that on them rap songs. Trying to prove something because he do them rap songs. You know what I'm saying? Kodak Black knew doggone well he ain't trying to go there and his name Kodak Black and they going to extort him like that. He can't go in there rich like that with all them poor people like that. And people act like they ain't got no sense. You Kodak Black. You cannot go in there. When they walk in there, all they see is money. Only a fool think Kodak Black can go in general population. What? He not that big. He's short. He not no Hercules Superman. How he gonna go? How he gonna go in there? And he famous like that? People just be saying stupid stuff. Crazy. Look at Tory Lanez. He wouldn't go sit down nowhere. That's why Tory Lanez was in there walking around running his mouth. I'm telling you why he got hurt. If Tory would have went there and sat his ass down, none of that would have happened. Tory was in there creating enemies. He was doing that same goofy stuff that he was doing when he was free. Kodak way too famous for general population. And general population, you trying to get out. You want to go to PC, get time off your case. You got to be smart. You want to go to PC. You want to be two people. In front of the police and the judge, you want to be a punk. You want to be a citizen. Okay? You want to be a civilian. You don't want to be no gangster in front of the judge. You don't want to be no gangster in front of the judge and the parole officer. You want to be a civilian. You don't want to be no gangster. For your young brother, when you go to jail, you go to prison, you don't want to be no gangster. Bad boys move in silence. If you go in there, you're a gangster. Even if you got ops, you ain't going to be able to do nothing because they're gonna have their guard up because you're a gangster. But if you play, right, if you lull them to sleep, then you could do what you got to do to your enemies. You can't get to your enemy if you're too tough. The best way to get to your enemies is to make them think you're a punk. Bring them down. Let them relax. Nah, man, I'm just a B-A-N. I'm just a punk. Yeah, I'm scared. You know, because it's all about action. It ain't about image or none of that. It's about just getting the job done. All that bravado don't get the job done. And all that bravado don't get the job done in a way where you could get away with it. PC is looked down upon by dummies, though. So who gonna pay attention to a dummy? That's my whole point. Use a dummy. Ain't talking about you looking down on me and you dumb. That's like Lil Boosie looking down. Boosie only rich because he a performer, and he never would have made it. He only made it because Lil Webby was really the talent, and Lil Boosie just rode on Lil Webby's coattail and just kept making music, and was big in his city and did what he had to do. I ain't gonna take nothing away from him, but he wasn't Webby. Webby was the man. But it's just like when you get locked up, and young people listen to me, no persona make no difference. Only one thing make a difference. Stay alive and get home to your family. That's it. Get out. That's it. That's it. If you want to beat your case, if you want to go on, you got to fool everybody. Everybody got to think you decent. You can't, if you a gangster in front of the other cellmates, you a gangster in front of the judge. You don't want to be that. You got to understand, in crime, the object of crime is to not be a criminal in the eyes of the public. Crime is sneaking. So you don't want that persona. That's not necessary to be a gangster. A gangster is not something you act like. A gangster is something you do. And you don't act, you can't do it if you act like it. I'm just giving you young brothers some game. Like that's not gangster. Gangster is not an act. Gangster is a mentality. It's inside. It's not on the outside. If they give me 7, I go in there and go to PC. Don't nobody do nothing about it. I go home in 2.5 years. That's gangster. Now I'm on the streets. You walk up to me. Yeah, Pharaoh, I heard you was in PC. I'm like, yeah, I heard you was a B word. The line's in the sand. That's gangster. That's gangster. I go to PC. I get out. I see you on the street. You'll say, I heard you was in PC. I, woo wop wop, and say, I heard you was a B. Your play. Man, it ain't got to be like, it's like that. Shut up talking to me. And I go about my business. And now you know what, you finally see what's gangster. In this dark alley around this dark corner. Now, if it's a bunch of people out there, I ain't going to say nothing. I'll be like, oh, you know how it is. Yeah, for I heard you was in PC. Oh, man, all right, it is. How you been doing? Okay, I'm gone. But if it's somewhere where there's no witnesses, you know, and no cameras, which is cameras everywhere now, I'm just saying, and you walk up on me talking greasy like that, I mean, that's just between me and you. A werewolf turned to a werewolf in the middle of the night. Vampires, they don't just be walking around out there, vampires and werewolves. They do it at night. They do it on the low. Dracula sneak up on you and get you. He just don't be running around. Yeah, I'm Dracula. I bite people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to tell you. Because what they trying to say, what do that matter if you at home raising your son, raising your daughter, back at home with your wife? So then they really got mad at me because they said, well, okay, Pharaoh, you was looking at 30 years. And they said they was going to let you go in 5, but you got to snitch. And there's 2 guys. They said, would you snitch to get out instead of doing 30? And I told them, I said, if I thought you were asleep with my wife, yeah, I'll tell on you. Because I'm a gangster. And if I tell them what you're going to do about it, punk, nothing. So y'all don't want to be no gangsters because gangsters don't got no rules. Gangsters is scumbags. Okay, I'm telling you, gangsters snitching everything. Gangsters is y'all listening to the nonsense. Y'all trying to give gangsters rules. No, gangsters don't go by no rules. None. There is no rules for gangsters. Gangsters are tail. Duh. They're gonna tell you that's not his gangster. If I'm a gangster, I'll tell you I told. Yeah, I told him it was you so I could get out. Do something about it. You know what I'm saying? That's gang. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. There's nothing. You can't be no righteous devil. When you go on that side, you on the devil's side. There ain't no rules. Stop letting these fake people tell you it's rules to gangster. There's no rules to gangster. Yes, if I'm looking at 20 and 30 and I could tell on you and come home, I'm telling. We're criminals. You know, you want me to be a good criminal? Bro, I'm a scumbag. You know, hey, my man got all that. Go get him. Because for sure, he gonna sleep with your wife. For sure. Young man, go do something legitimate. I always remember, you young brothers, I'm a teacher, remember this saying, there is no honor among thieves. Repeat after me, young brothers. There is no honor amongst thieves. If I'm doing scumbag stuff, I'm doing it all the way. I'm snitching, I'm telling, I'm doing whatever. I'm a scumbag. There ain't no rules, because rules is this. This is rules. Rules is like this. Here's rules. Rules is this. I go by the rules, you go by the rules. That's rules. In this world, you go by the rules, he don't. So what rules? There is no rules because the other person ain't going to go by the rules. You're going to be the only fool going by the rules. Young brothers, you better listen. You're the only one going to go by the rules. The streets is a myth. It's every man for himself and God for us all. I'm telling you. If you don't tell on them, they going to tell on you. That's just how it's going to go. And you're going to be in prison tomorrow. He told on you when he should have been in prison because you should have told on him. And that's just how it goes. So if you want to go down there that dark path, then that's what it is. That's why I tell you, stay out of that. Stay out of that. Gangsters don't got no rules. If I'm a gangster and I tell on you what you're going to do about it, you ain't going to do nothing. Not only will I send you to prison, I could make sure you don't get out. Tell me what you're going to do when you get out. You ain't going to never get out. A kite going to come in there. And they need commissary. They need money. So I give his baby mama some money, take care of his kids. You ain't never going to get out. You ain't going to never get out. It's gangster. It's gangster. They talking about gangster rules. The word gangster means no rules. There's no rules. It's gangster. There's no rules. It's gangster. Gangster does devil. Gangster is the devil. Okay? That's Satan. God ain't no gangster. Righteousness. Angels ain't gangsters. Gangsters is the dark side. You want to be a gangster, ain't no rules. So young people, don't get involved with illicit substances, any type of crimes like that, because everybody you're around is a scumbag. All the decent people doing decent stuff. You can't trust nobody. When I was in the streets, I didn't visit nobody. I didn't go to nobody's house. I didn't have nobody come to my house. I didn't answer no phone calls. That's why I never been to prison. I never been to prison. I'm a superstar in crime. Anybody that know me, anybody been in the county jail with me many times, I'll tell you, Pharaoh is a superstar. All the dirt he did, he never been to prison, he never told. You know why I never told? Because I never did nothing. The first key to snitching, I can't snitch on you until I snitch on myself first. So the reason I never snitch, because I never did nothing. I'm a good boy. I ain't never did nothing. So there was never nothing to snitch on. See, I never admitted no crimes to the police because I was a real gangster out there. And once I tell on you, I done told on myself. You understand? So y'all stay out of this because you got to be a genius to really survive. For me to tell on you, I got to tell on myself. So when the police catch me with something and they come to the cell at the jail and say, Pharaoh, who did you get it from? Because they want me to snitch on you, right? And what I got to say, I got it from Tommy. I just told that I had it. So when the police said, Pharaoh, who you get it from? I say, get what from? I didn't have nothing. It ain't mine. Bam. Because once I tell where I got it from, I'm looking at time right off the top. So now they're going to cut me a deal. Oh, you going for 10 or whatever. Now you tell on him you could do 5, but I'm getting ready. I'm going. I'm going to jail anyway. Because I didn't admit it. It's mine. So now I'm fighting for less time. Because I didn't already cop the plea like a dumbass. Me, got what? I don't got nothing. Shut up talking to me, coppers. You know what I'm saying? Real gangster. I don't, what you mean? Who I got what from? That ain't mine. It's not yours. I want to talk to my lawyer. That conversation's over. Conversation's over. So I never told on nobody. You know why? I ain't never did nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never did nothing. Everything they said I did was a lie. Okay? I never did nothing. All my charges was false. It was trumped up, make-believe stuff. Take a good, innocent guy like me and try to claim, I did this and I did that. No. I never did nothing. There's nobody to tell on because I didn't do nothing. I never did nothing in my life. Anybody tell you, my lawyer tell you I'm the coldest ever. I ain't did nothing. Never, ever, never, 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 never. And young people, when you go to jail, they're going to say, what you in here for? And you say, for nothing. They trying to say I did something that I did not do. I lied about my case to everybody I got locked up with, the judge, everybody. I told the same lie. It was about, I had beat my case about 7 years before I realized, I could stop lying about it. I lied so much about my case, I started believing I was really innocent. That's how much I lied. I believed that I didn't do nothing. Well, listen, young dudes, you go in there. What you in there for? Oh, I had this, I had that. You tell Ray, I had this, I had that, I had this. You get a lawyer. Lawyer said, we can fight this. You forget. Continues. A year and a half later. You go to court. You say, no, I wasn't, man. I didn't have this, I didn't have that. District attorney say, we called Ray to the stand. Ray come to the stand. Yeah, I was locked up with him, Division 2. We was at lunch at 4:15, and he told me he had it, him and Carl, and boom. Because you went and told Ray your business. I told everybody in the county jail that it wasn't mine. I didn't do nothing. Everybody. I told everybody I didn't do nothing. I'm in here for nothing. Police trying to lie on me. That's what I told them. I ain't giving no facts either. So what was it about? Oh, man, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not telling y'all nothing. I don't know nothing. I ain't did nothing. I'll tell you something else too. Young men, listen to me. Let's say they catch you with a bunch of stuff, right? You go to court, you say, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. You keep saying you didn't do it. They find you guilty. Do you know as long as on your paperwork it say you didn't do it, you can get out early? Listen, as long as you don't confess and you keep saying you didn't do it, you can get out early. I don't care how much evidence they got. They'll always say he always claimed his innocence. And that weighs heavy when you come up for parole or early release. When they look and they say he always claimed his innocence. He might have been shit. Let him go. But if you said you did it, every time you're up for parole, parole denied. You said you did it. You don't never confess. Ever. If you confess, you ain't getting no parole. Not no time soon. Because that get written down. It need to be written down. He always claimed his innocence. That weighs heavy. He always claimed his innocence. He swore he never did it. Because they say beyond a reasonable doubt. So there's still a little doubt, but it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So if this is reasonable doubt and this is beyond, then it's, but that still don't mean you're guilty. As long as you never cop to it. Don't ever cop to it. Yeah, I'm working on that now with mine. Yeah, it's different states. It's different states about getting it's different states where you get your gun rights back. I'm going to get mine back soon as the weather break. I'm gonna go downtown and get mine back. I don't want to drive. I want to just take the train or something. I want to be nice as, so the ladies have on their little dresses and stuff. So probably next month, I'm going to go down there and get mine. But as far as PC, if you're a young dude, you got like 3 years, go to PC. You're going to be home in less than a year. I'm late. So would you go to PC? Yes, I would go to PC. I would go to PC quick. Tukey definitely claimed he was innocent. But his problem was too many people knew he was Tukey. But yes, I would claim my innocence. And I would go to PC, G-Rock. I would go to PC. My affiliation, well, right now my affiliation wouldn't matter. I'd be off count anyway. I'm 68. But even if I was young, yeah, I'll go to PC. I'll go to PC because it's like this. Let's say I'm young. I'm a young folk corner house. I go to PC. Boom. I get out quick. I run into another folk. He'd be like, I heard you went to PC. I'd be like, eh? Do something. At the end of the day, this gangster. Touch my gangster. You get to find out. You get to find out what I'm standing on. Because like I keep telling young dudes, if you're a gangster, you're a gangster. PC or no PC. What that mean? Being a gangster ain't got nothing to do with going to general population. Don't make you no gangster. That just make you go to general population. If going to PC make you not a gangster, then lying make you not a gangster. So when you go to court and lie, I mean, what's the difference? You still trying to get out of it. They're going to PC, you're trying to get out of the worst. Who gonna go to jail and get the worst when you can try to get the less out the situation? Now, who said you got to go and be around a bunch of losers and a bunch of noise to be a gangster? That don't even make no sense. If you're a gangster and you're doing crimes, you're not gonna go and the federal don't get 54 days off per year. In the state, right? Policies vary significantly. Some states allow day up for a day, 50% reduction. So if I got 3 years, I get off in a year and a half in some states. The object is to go home. The object not to stay in prison trying to go by no persona like that. You can't say you know gangster and you scared of what somebody say about you. That don't even make no sense. Like I don't that's like an oxymoron. You a gangster, but you scared somebody gonna say something. Well, then you not no gangster. How you a gangster? I go around the guys. They say, "Bro, they say you went to PC." I say, "Hell yeah, I went to PC. I'm trying to get the hell up out of there." Just like that. It's simple. What you gonna do about it? You get to find out if I'm really at it, not right now. What you ask this stupid question for? Test the waters. You know what I'm saying? If you got to be crazy. You know what I'm saying? When I'm in the streets, I'm kind of crazy. So I'm gonna tell you, Chef, yeah, I went to PC. Why you ask? I mean, it's better than the morgue. Well, your ass finna go if you say the wrong thing. I'm not trying to promote no violence. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Where I went is better where you gonna go if you say the wrong thing, though. Don't worry about me. I'm the devil. I'm Dracula. Don't worry about the devil. The devil do devilish stuff. Yeah, I don't go back. I'm a gangster. I don't got no rules. You know, gangsters with rules. I don't understand gangsters with rules. They be clowning dudes that's going because they wasn't cut to be with everybody. That's not true. They just don't want to be bothered with everybody. Everybody not even cut themselves. So how you can say I'm not cut to be with everybody when a lot of them is snitches? That's just make believe shit. So if they say, so why you went to PC? You couldn't hang with everybody? It's like, no, I just don't fuck with y'all like that. I didn't want to be around you niggas. Do I be around you niggas now? No, we barely see you. I did. And you wasn't gonna never see me in the jail. I was gonna be in PC with my feet kicked up. I don't got time to be bothered with y'all in that bullshit y'all build. I heard gang members feel. I said, man, I ain't want to be locked up with all you dumbass niggas. Most of y'all can't read past the 8th grade level. Boy, I'm ugly with it. Why? I hurt your feelings. Bro, don't ask me why I ain't went to PC. You can't even spell PC. Your dumb ass. Bro, I ain't want to be locked up with a bunch of dumbass losers. Boy, I'm ugly with it. We'd kick it off. I'd kick it off. Bro, y'all can't even spell PC. No, I didn't want to be around y'all. I don't be around y'all anyway. I don't be with y'all. I don't be around like that. Man, I don't care nothing about no dumbass, no dummies talking about trying to give me no rules. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I'm a real gangster when I'm a gangster. I ain't no gangster no more, but when I was, if you ain't paying no bills, boy, you can't even talk to me about nothing I'm doing. You ain't putting no gas in this car. You ain't, who is you? I don't think I even know you. You definitely ain't my daddy. And if you make a mistake and be like, Pharaoh, you a punk. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get away with it because I'm not finna go to prison just because you call me a punk. Stand on that. My thing is, give me, you got to give me a reason to. Listen, how could I say this? If you call me a punk, I'm still not gonna do nothing because I got to be able to beat my case. And I can't beat this case. So, hey, you going to get away with that because I'm really a gangster. If I can't beat the case, it never happened. You can say whatever you want to say because this you talking crazy and this the police. And the police going to lock me up. Now, I'm not getting locked up by the police messing with you talking crazy. I'm not a sinner, bro. I'm not going to prison because you just talking crazy. You just talking. I don't pay that no attention. Whatever. I don't pay that sticks and stones. Like I don't pay that no attention. That's why so many young brothers in prison now. They react to everything somebody say. Now you doing 10 years because you reacted to somebody's mouth. But you could have blew that off and went on. But ain't nobody think about what you talking about. So my whole thing is, you don't like me, but I don't want you to like me. I don't want you to like me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I like women's. So I don't really want no dudes that like me. I don't want to be your favorite. I don't want to be in your good favor or none of that. For what? And young brothers always trying to prove something to other young brothers instead of go get them some money and spend time with your queen. You know what I'm saying? You young brothers watching me, stop trying to prove something to men and go prove something to yourself and get something out of life. They just talking. As long as nobody put their hands on you or no threat to your life, hey man, let them talk till they turn green, blue in the face. So I ain't reacting every dude like that. I'll make you react so then I could deal with it. But you can't come up to me talking about, man, I heard you went to PC. I'm be like, I heard you was a bitch. Everybody here shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you feeling froggish, jump. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what you heard. What, you gossiping now? What is you? You heard? Oh, you heard some stuff? Was you a girl? Man, PC, for me, PC is where you get away from the nonsense. So I got my own reason for going. I don't like general population. They talk too much. It's too much noise. I'm already doing time. I could be in my cell working out, getting bigger, reading books, getting my mind right, and I could get sent home early. I could be getting 54 days off of every year. I could get 54 days off of every year. 54 days, that's almost 3 months. Now imagine 3 years and you get a year off. And you got a five piece. You got a five piece. 3 years, you get a year off. Man, when you start getting around 2 years, they're gonna start trying to send you home. You're gonna do 24 months, they're gonna send you home. Now you gonna be a gangster and do the 5 years, or you gonna go to PC and go home in 2 years. You understand? One thing I don't do, I don't get caught up with dudes like that because that's more prison time. You understand? So when you get to beefing with dudes, when you want to prove something with dudes, you're gonna be in front of a judge. This is why I be trying to teach young brother, you ain't always got to prove nothing to no dudes. You ain't always got to stand on nothing. Go home to your family. It don't matter what they say about you if they don't see you anyway. You say whatever you gonna say about me. But in a week or a year or so, what you gonna say about me is we ain't seen Pharaoh. That's what you gonna be saying. Out of sight, out of mind. Why do you care about what somebody's saying? Right? Why you care about what somebody's saying when you don't? Is it you heard they go together against the Mexicans? Now it ain't enough Mexicans here to go against like that. But here in Chicago don't go like that because here in Chicago it don't go like that. Here in Chicago, if you're a Latin king, you're on the fin ball. So Chicago go by the 5 and the 6. So here in Chicago, if you a Latin king, you're Puerto Rican or whatever Latin king, whatever gang you is, you either 5 or 6. The 5 got to ride with the 5 and the 6 got to ride with the 6. Ain't none of that Mexican. No, what is you, the 5 or the 6? So y'all remember when the Mexicans was tripping with the blacks when the pandemic first happened? And remember how they apologized through a pizza party? That's because the Blackstones and the Viceroys got at them because that's the fin ball. Okay, them Latin kings is fin ball. So the fin ball got at them like, what y'all doing? So they had to apologize. So yeah, we don't, and this ain't LA, this is the original gangsters. LA is copycats. We the original. And here's the 5 and the 6. So you come here, you whatever you is, you gonna have to be 5 or 6. You ain't gonna be nothing independent. That's why they call the Venezuelans the BDs. If they was gonna stay here, they ain't gonna be able to be independent. If they gonna build a Venezuelan gang here, they gonna have to be under the 5 or the 6. That's just a fact. So now, when I was now I'm cool. They ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna trip like that. But you know, California is Mexico, so it's different. California is in Mexico, basically. So it's different. So they can overpower you in California. Mexicans is a long way away from Chicago. What the 5 and the 6 mean? The 5 is the 5-point star and the 6 is the 6-point star. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago. The GDs and the BDs, they under the 6. They the folk nation. And the Viceroys and Blackstones and Latin Kings and all of that, they under the 5. You know what I'm saying? They under the 5, the Blackstones and all that. Let's take a break. You understand? Let's take a break and we finish. See, what a lot of people don't understand about Los Angeles is south. And so because they're in California, everybody look at them as west. But really, LA is south. LA like 2 hours from Mexico. See what I'm saying? Because there ain't number 2 hours to San Diego. Well, San Diego is basically Mexico. You know what I'm saying? When you get off, when you come from Mexico, you in San Diego. They got like a train you could take from the border. I don't know if they still got that. So LA ain't really west. LA is south. So it's a whole bunch of Mexicans. And so in California, the blacks ain't got a whole lot of power because it's Mexicans all the way from the south to the north. So they kind of have to kind of deal with the Mexicans. Whereas Chicago, we the Midwest, we up by the lake. Mexicans ain't coming all the way to no Chicago because they got to come all the way, either all the way through Texas and all the way up, or they got to come across from LA. That's too far. And then they don't like the weather. You know, Los Angeles, San Diego, they got the same weather, so they more comfortable. They ain't really trying to come in a whole bunch of snow and all of that. So that's really the big difference. You know what I'm saying? Then the blacks is different out there. They different. They different in LA. The blacks. They a little different. You know what I'm saying? They cool. I don't know now because I ain't been out there. I know last time I went out there, I ain't like it. But when I lived out there, I liked it. But last time I went out there, I ain't like they let, you know what I'm saying? They let them people punk them. You know what I'm saying? They let the Mexicans punk them in LA. You know what I'm saying? They lost all that land they had, all that power they had. They let the Mexicans take it. So you know it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different energy. They're not black like they used to be kind of militant, but they're not black like Chicago. They're not black like that out there. So it's just different. You know what I mean? But it was cool in the 80s, but by the time you get to the 90s and by the time you get to 2000, they let them, they overran them. You know what I'm saying? Because they was too busy beefing between themselves and they let them people punk them like that. And then there's too many of them. You can't overpower no whole country. Mexico right there. How you going to overpower Mexico when it's right there? Yeah, I don't know how they act nowadays, probably, but they used to be super militant, but not no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I mean, it ain't their fault. They right by Mexico. How you going? How you gonna overpower Mexicans when you right by Mexico and the United States ain't minding the border? Duh, what they supposed to do? Same thing in Texas, at the bottom of Texas. What they supposed to do when they right by Mexico? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they supposed to do? So it ain't no diss to them. They basically practically in Mexico. Everything is San Diego, San Juan Capistrano, San Diego. That's all Hispanic. Yeah, they can't run back to Mexico up here. You know what I'm saying? Plus it get below zero and all that. And Mexicans, they Hispanics, blacks in Chicago is like some weird people. We not normal. We like Eskimos. So blacks in Chicago, because our family been here so long, we working below zero. We not normal like typical blacks that's from warm climates. Nah, we seasonal. We all seasons. We can do hot, cold, all that. From being here so many generations, we blacks that deal with winter. Winter ain't no big deal to us in Chicago. When you be complaining about how cold it is, we know you ain't been here long. Because you ain't going to hear like black Americans in Chicago talk about how cold it is. Chicago get colder than New York? Uh, kind of. They both get cold because we on the water. See, when it's cold and you on the lake and you on the ocean, yeah, it get big cold in New York. But in them other places, you know, yeah, the lake, man, it be freezing cold. But it's a different culture here. Like you can't talk to us. You can't, they down there calling blacks. They in L.A. They let them call them the N word and use the N word and all that. It's just a different. Boy, you can't come here. Boy, you can't come in no Mexican using no N word like that. Boy, we'll look at you crazy. But we don't really be around Mexicans here. They over there. They in a little village. The Mexicans over there and little village. You know what I'm saying? So we won't have no lot of interaction with Mexicans. Chicago, once you leave downtown, it's black as far as you can drive south. This is the most black people you ever gonna see. Yeah. We used to go up to Lake Geneva and ride on the snowmobiles on the lake on the ice. In Chicago, we learned how to dress in grade school. You learn early. Oh, if you overdress, you won't be cold. Duh. You underdress, you cold. If you overdress, you good. Once we learn that, we good. Because it's not cold if you dress correctly. It's only cold if you don't dress. But if you dress correctly, it ain't cold. Now we ain't been having real winters forever. When I get the one piece, if you get the one piece, if you live where it's cold, get the one piece zip up dickie or the snowsuit or the work outfit that the men wear. Once you got that one piece, ladies, you can have your dress and everything on. Just step in there and zip it up and go to work and zip it out. You still be flying under there. But no wind can get through there. No wind. You ain't got no creases. You're going to be nice and warm. Wearing thermal clothes is good, but the one piece zip up. The one piece. If you get a one piece, you won't be cold. And your clothes will still look good when you take them off. You can have a suit on under there. You can have a three-piece suit and just step in there and zip it up and go. You can have a dress and everything on. Only thing is you might have to wear some stockings or some leggings or something for the cold. But you step in that one piece, zip it up, no cracks, you good. But that's all I got to say about that. Young brothers, stay out of prison, man. Stay out of prison. Stay out of gangs. Get an education. Make something out yourself. Try to get in a decent relationship. Build a family. If you get with a queen trying to build a family, that don't work out. Get another queen. You understand? And don't be doing crimes like that. Crime is over. Cameras everywhere. Snitches everywhere. Young brothers, leave crime alone. Crime is no good. It's over with. They see everything. They see everything. Crime is over. Everything is recorded. There's cameras everywhere. There's ring cameras on everybody's door. If you run down the street, you're running past cameras, 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 everywhere you go. Get you some type of trade. If you ain't good at working for somebody, work for yourself. Learn plumbing, be an electrician, carpentry. Something you can do with your hands that everybody can't do. You understand? But get an education. And when you're young, don't hang with the dummies. Hang with the smart kids. Even if you're not the kind that like to do a lot of schoolwork and stuff, always hang with the smart kids. Always hang with the smart girls. They're going to bring up your standard. The dummies are going to lower your standard. The smart ones are going to raise your standard. Don't hang with the dummies. And if you're a parent, don't let your kids hang with the dummies. Tell them, I don't want you with that little boy. Just like that. Don't be sitting there sending your kids to prison because you don't want to be no strong parent. You just letting them do whatever. Sending your children to prison. That's all you're doing. I mean, brothers be out there hustle. Sometimes they come from a poor family. They're trying to figure out how to make some money. And poverty, is a whole nother circumstance. So poverty do cause crime. But what the young brothers got to know that even though you're living in a bad situation and you might got to sell certain illegal things to try to make money because your parents can't help you or nothing, still go to school. Don't miss school. Get good grades in school because that's going to make you a better salesperson. If you don't go to school and you don't pay attention to what you're doing, it's not going to make you a good salesperson. What we could do about artificial intelligence, artificial intelligence ain't really no threat because when the lights go out, the artificial intelligence is going to go out. So you still going to have skills. Artificial intelligence is just trash. It's a fake ideology that ain't going to never work. But I might talk about it. What happens is, yeah, you got to be more smart. But what happens is the dumber you get, the more crimes you do. The more intelligent you get, the less crimes you do. So if you're doing crimes, but you study and you build your intelligence, you will naturally pull away from crime. If you don't build up your intelligence, you will fall deeper into crime. So your whole mind state determines what type of criminal you're going to be. If you can't read well, if you can't express yourself well, you're going to be stuck in crime. And then if you're dumb, you're going to be a dumb criminal. If you're intelligent, you're going to be an intelligent criminal. And then you're not going to want to be a criminal at all because your intelligence is going to show you something else to do. And so parents make a mistake. And one reason we got so many bad kids because the parents ain't no good. Because you should not be allowed to have bad grades, period. Period. You show me a young man or a young girl that's getting bad grades, and I'll show you some parents that ain't worth nothing. There is no way you can call yourself any kind of decent parent when your children ain't getting good grades. You a bum. You ain't no good parent. You trash. And some children got trash parents. So then on their own, you got to get your grades up. If you don't get your grades up, right, then you can't go nowhere. Any tips on expressing yourself without being emotional? Emotional is how? Like, you got to give me examples. What kind of emotion? Emotions like what kind of emotions? Yes. Yes. A dumb kid. Yeah. When the parents aren't stern, then you ain't no parent. When the parents aren't stern and the parents chilling, letting the kids do whatever, the parents ain't no good. I mean, that's vague. That's vague. I don't know what that means. You say any tips on express yourself verbally when you angry without being emotion. Anger is an emotion. So I don't understand what you mean. Anger is an emotion. So how you gonna be anger and not have no emotions? And anger for what? So anger is the thing is what you angry for. It's not about being angry. Everybody's supposed to get angry. But what you angry for? Are you just angry at a bunch of nonsense? Are you angry for something legitimate to be angry about? That's the problem. When you're just angry over nothing. What are you angry about is the issue, not the fact of being angry. But over what? That's the issue. The issue ain't about being angry, it's about over what? Are you just angry for nothing? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? If you're a person just angry over any old thing, can't nobody fix that. You gotta fix that. Nobody can give you no answer to stop you from acting like a fool. At what age should parents set the standard? You set the standard from birth. From birth, you set the standard. As soon as your baby, like you got a boy, he little, like my son. My son was little, and he would always go and mess with my radio. He was like, "How old you be when you first learn how to walk?" Right? So from the beginning, no, because they ain't nothing to teach them, right? So when they little, there's nothing to teach them. So you got newborn baby, there's nothing to teach them. So not really since day one. Because when they little, there's nothing to teach them. Just leave them alone. You really don't really teach them until they learn how to walk. When they learn how to walk, you have to watch them and they'll show you when it's time to teach them something. For example, my son had learned how to walk. He was a baby. I had a big old radio and he would see all the lights blinking and he would go and he would turn the radio up. And some kind of way, the big knob, he always turned it. It'd go up loud and scare him. He would fall down. Now, when I knew it was time to start getting on him, is one day he was starting to walk to the radio. I said, "Hey, leave that radio alone." He turned around and looked at me. Then he turned around and went to the radio. That's when it's time to get on him. Because he let me know. He know what I told him. And he made up his decision. He gonna go anyway. So that's when I got his little legs. You know, they got the diaper on, so you don't gotta hurt him. You don't gotta hurt him. You just tap his legs and make him cry a little bit. so that when you say no, he gotta know no. Now, if he don't know no, you could lose your baby. Now, I'll give you another example. After I got stabbed, I had to go to rehab. My queen at the time, she had 2 little boys. We come out the hospital, right? And the 2 little boys take off. The cars across the street, so they finna run right across the street and get hit by a car. The mama, Quincy, na 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 na. See, her voice, she hadn't been authoritarian to them. I said, hey, and they stopped. And then a car went by. Now, if it wasn't for me raising them and being stern, they would have ran in front of that car. They would have ran in front of that car. And she was doing that stupid mother stuff. The mamas be sending their children to prison. Crazy, honey, y'all stop. They like, mama ain't nobody. They was still running. She was saying stop. I said, hey, they stopped. The car went, whoo. You understand? I don't know. That's vague. Like, that's vague. I can't answer no vague. You ain't giving me nothing. Your children teach you how to be a parent. No, your parents teach you how to be a parent. Not your children. Your mom and daddy teach you how to be a parent the way they raised you. And then you raise yours the way you was raised. If your parents ain't no good, then you ain't going to be no good. Now, your children don't teach your parents. My mom and daddy taught me how to be a parent. Yeah, my mom and daddy taught me how to be a parent. But you got to always remember, you can't be no soft parent, because a soft parent means your child might pass away or get hurt. So you can't look at parenting like, oh, no, parenting save your children's life. They must listen to what you tell them to do, because everything you tell them to do ain't always no plaything. So when you tell them, don't play with the electrical socket or don't play with the stove, they can actually blow the whole house up. So a lot of parents think parenting is a joke. No. Parenting could save your children's life and your life. They got to learn because they don't know. That's why if you watch an animal, a lioness or a bear, watch a female bear. She'll have a bunch of cubs, right? You know I ain't lying. She have a bunch of cubs. They all close to her. But the one little boy cub or the girl cub wander off. She go get him with her mouth and put him back. He wander off again. She go get him and put him back. He wanders off again and she goes to put her mouth on him real hard. He squeaks. And then she put him back. And then he don't run off no more. But see, people will be like, well, dang, why did she do it hard and make him squeal? Why did she hurt him a little bit? Because you have to give your children a hurt sometime to avoid them getting the other hurt. So the mama know if you wander off, a wolf or something gonna eat you, boy. So in order to make sure the wolf don't eat them, she gotta make them sometimes feel a little pain, because that's what they're going to feel if the wolf get them. So she got to give her like a replacement. That's why when Europeans tell you don't spank your kids, Europeans is the worst race to tell you anything. Look at their behavior overall. You're talking about people that had slaves. So how you going to tell somebody when you used to have slaves that you used to tie up and whip, How you going to turn around and tell us don't spank our children? You don't make no sense. But you have to replace some type of pain to let them know this is serious. You don't want to hurt them. I'll give you another example. That happened to me. I just learned how to ride my bike. I'm like 4 years old, 5 years old. So I'm riding my bike in front of the house, At the end of the block was a dead end, so you could go around, come back up. One day my mama looked out. I didn't roll, and I'm riding in the street. My mama tell me, don't ride that bike in the street. Because I ain't number 5, right? Don't ride that bike in the street. She catch me out there again. She said, come here. She take me and she spanked me. When she spanked me a little bit, I didn't go back in the street no more. Why did my mama spank me? Because my mama let the spanking replace me getting hit by a car. She knew I didn't understand that I could get hit by a car. She don't got time for me to understand why she say don't go in the street. All she knows is I got to listen to what I tell her. I'm too young to know why. So she spanked me to let me know, don't go in the street. You're too little to know why. Just do what I tell you. So she spanked me because it's better than a car hitting me. The spanking only lasts a couple seconds. But if a car would have hit me, I could lose a leg or be unalive. So the spanking was a replacement for the car hitting me. You understand? The spanking means do what the hell I tell you, period. Because you ain't old enough to know why I'm telling you. So when a parent trying to reason with a little kid, that's a stupid parent. That kid don't know what you're talking about. They got to do what you tell them. They're not old enough to know what to do. So all this talk to the kids stuff is ridiculous. You're talking to somebody that comprehension level ain't high enough to understand what you're saying. Don't do this, don't do that. That's the end of it. You'll find out later when you get older. So the spanking saved my life. I'm too stupid to know I'm going to get hit by a car. If she would have told me you're going to get hit by a car, I wouldn't have knew. I still wouldn't have understood. I wouldn't understand what she was saying. I was thinking, no, I'm not, right? No, I'm not. I see them cars. See what I'm saying? But my mama know the car ain't going to necessarily see you. See? So that's why the bear will grab it and make it squeak. Because all the mama bear wanted to know is stay over here. Don't worry about why. She can't talk. She can't tell him a cougar will eat you, a wolf will eat you. The bear can't tell a baby bear that. So the mama bear got to let the baby bear know, just stay over here. Don't worry about why. I keep bringing you back. You keep leaving. When I bring you over here, stay over here. And then he sit his, or she sit their little ass there and stay with the other cubs. By the time you see them when they bigger, you see the mama bear walking, you see the two bears, they stay right with the mama. They do not run off because they was taught that is when they was this little. So now that they big, watch a mama lion with the two sons, with the other two lions, or a bear. They stay right with their mama. Why? They was taught that as a baby. And the mama do that. You can watch the little lions, they be all on the daddy, slapping the daddy, everything. He don't do nothing. But if the mama get mad, she'll go get them and make them squeak a little bit. Dogs do it too. They make the baby squeak. That means stop. They don't hurt them. They just, a little pinch. That means stop. And that's how they teach. That's how they teach their babies. That's how my mama taught me and my sister. If we go too much, we get a spanking. If we don't get a spanking, we're going to be dumb. Yeah, they have a lot of problems with their children too. You seen that dude just unalived his daddy. Remember the big Hollywood guy that the boy just unalived the mom and the daddy? Yeah, they grow up and they abuse their parents too. But when a black parent raised you, you don't never I never talk back to my mom and my daddy my whole life. It's something you learn little. And that stay with you for the rest of your life to respect your parents. It's something you learn as a baby. And then once they teach you that, that never go away. You get a little big, like sixth grade, seventh grade, you try the waters and they get you straight. Yeah, you test the waters, yeah, and you get straightened out. Yeah. If you don't, you know what I'm saying? Another thing, dating, while we talk about that, if you meet a woman and she already got a child or two children, and you see she don't discipline the child, don't date her no more. Don't date her. If you meet a young woman and you like her, and you go by and you see the son kind of she don't discipline him none, don't date her. Go find somebody else. Dump her. Yep, Rob Reiner. Dump her. Dump her. If you're a disciplinarian, you like to raise children with order and how to grow up right, and you meet a woman that don't do that, don't date her. Dump her. Because what's going to happen is it's going to be a situation where you're going to be the disciplinarian and she's going to be the easy one, but that's always her baby. And that baby going to grow up and hate you and still love the mama. And the mama going to have you doing the dirty work. But the mama going to turn around and the mama going to go against you sometime. And the child going to always stick with the mama. If she, anytime, I've been with women that had children and she was already standing on their neck. So all I have to do is back her up. The father or the man only supposed to back the woman up. My daddy was not the disciplinarian. My mama was the one. Y'all get this stuff up off the floor. What y'all think this is? Clean them rooms up like that. My daddy didn't have to do nothing. He only had to step in. If he there with you by himself, he didn't have to say much because mama going to come in and straighten it all out. Or if you got a little big for your britches, he might say something. But the men ain't supposed to be doing all that. So if you're a man and you got to do all this to your stepson and stuff, that ain't no good. I meet a queen, she's standing on the kids' cool. It's going to work. I don't got to do nothing. All I got to do is get her off of them when she get too mad. Wow, that's sad. He said my homie was shot and unalive by his 17-year-old son. Yep. Because he didn't raise him and he tried to get on him when he got too big. He tried to get on him when he got too big. The mama was supposed to be on him. Not only that, men, boys. Now, when they get in high school, that's when you step up. So my stepson and my son, when they got in high school, then I stepped up. And when I would get on their case, I would make them stand in front of me and not move. That don't make no faces or nothing. And my stepson brought that up last year. He said, "Man, Pharaoh, you taught us all of that." Because I used to treat them. I used to make them act the way that I knew they had to act if the police get them. I used to always tell them, when the police get y'all got to stand. Y'all, you can't do all that. You know, I wouldn't let them squirm. I wouldn't let them talk back. They just had to take whatever I was saying. And I would get in their face and test them because I was trying, and I used to tell them, you get out there with them white police, they going to unalive you. Don't say nothing. If they say, what you doing? Say, no, yes, that's it. No attitude. I told them. I said, no attitude. So I used to make practice on them with myself and get on them like a drill sergeant, and they couldn't show no attitude. Because I told them, if you go out in the streets with that attitude and the police get you, they gonna unalive you, or they gonna lock you, or they gonna hurt you. And my stepson brought that up like 2 years ago. He said, man, now that I'm out here, man, everything you told us was the truth. Because when they would be out of order and I would get on them, because the mama, they getting too big. They young men now. They like sophomores, juniors, senior. The oldest one like a senior, and the other one's like a junior. And I used to get in their face and tell them, don't move, don't say nothing. And I'd be like, woo, wah, 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 wah. And I told them just stand there. All they can say is, yes, sir, okay, like that. I used to tell them, don't move, don't flinch. Because if you flinch out there, the police, they're going to unalive you. On my soul. Everything I'm saying is facts. Everything I'm saying is facts. I used to get in their face because I was preparing them. My son and my stepson, they was big. Then they never go to jail, nothing. Still today. And they know how to deal with the police and all that. They know they don't go to jail, they don't get in no trouble. This one I do it. This was side. This is them here on the outside. That's them. That's when I used to do it. Right at the age right there. That's when I used to do them boys like that. The one in the white, that's my stepson. He the oldest, and then my son's a year younger. The twins and my son is all the same age. He was a senior. Them three was juniors. We was raising 4 teenagers, and I would have them standing there, and I'd be like, rah, 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 rah. That's the age where I was in their face because they finna be outside. One of them is a senior, one's a junior. The next step is they in the world. That's the next step. They're in the world. I had to show them how to function in the world, how not to be emotional. Don't show no emotional. Just like somebody in your face talking, you got to be a soldier. You just, when the police come, name, age, serial number. That's it. Leave all that extra out so you can go home. I used to teach them, when you deal with the police, you got 45 seconds, they're going to come down. All you got to do is chill for 45 seconds. They're going to be like, and then the police going to come down. You chill, let the police come down. They're going to come down. Always. If you don't react and you just stay solid, the police going to come down. They only get drilling up when they first hop out on you. After 45 seconds, it's going to come down. And if you chill, they're going to come down. Their attitude going to come down. They're going to say, okay, go ahead about your business. But if you talk crazy while they hyped up, you could get unalive. And they'll never go to jail. They don't never get in trouble. They got it down. I said, just because the police up here, you don't go up here. You stay right here. When you stay here, he come down. If you go up, he go up more. It's psychology. And they should be in their face. They was getting too big for their mama. It was a man. It was a time for a man to show them they finna go out in the streets. They super grown, no problems. Never been to jail. Never been in a gang. They ain't BD, and they grew up in O Block. They ain't BD. They not gang. Anytime they had a problem in O Block, I went outside. Yeah, they ain't never went outside when they had problems. Any problems, I came outside. This is a job for a real gangster. Don't make me come back outside. That's how I went outside. They ain't never had to stand on nothing. I stood on everything. See, they'll stay up under Big Pharaoh. Don't make me have to come back outside. People that grew up in O Block, they know. My children didn't have. They only had a couple of problems in O Block, and that got taken care of quick, quick. And we not doing that. They not no gangsters. They not no gang members. They ain't on that. They ain't on leave these kids alone. They ain't on that type of time. Now me, I'm on that type of time though. If you want to, my attitude, like if you want to go in that direction, you know, go ask some of these OGs around here. Go ask y'all leader. He'll tell you. He know me. Go ask your leader. They gonna tell you who. Ja Rule? Pharaoh? No, man, leave dude alone, man. Y'all out of line. Don't let me hear you. Man, don't let me hear y'all giving Pharaoh no problems. Just like that. Go ask go ask go ask the big homies. They'll tell y'all out of order. So my children, they didn't have to fight no wars. They was off limits. Don't make me come back outside. I kept them out of all of that. But I raised them with discipline because they got to act a certain type of way. You got to raise your children with some type of discipline, or they're going to go to jail. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get hurt in these streets. They got to know who to hang out with, who not to hang out with. If your children's hanging out with scum, then there's got to be a meeting on that. Don't let me see you with them no more. Point blank period. You got to be a parent. The worst parent is a friend trying to be friends. I'm still ain't friends with them. I'm not friends with them like that. We not friends. We ain't gonna never be friends. My friends is grown. My friends is my age. Ain't no kids my friends. Period. You cannot be my friend. You a mother, you trying to be the friend to your daughter. You not her friend. You ain't gonna never be her friend. Get it straight. Yeah, I tell my children, we not friends. We are not friends. Them kids you go to school with, that's your friends. I'm not your damn friend. I don't want to be your friend. You ain't my type. We don't do the same things. Facts. My daddy was never my friend. My daddy and my mama, they was always mama and daddy. Till the day they passed away. They was never not my friend. That was a fact. I loved them. They was nice. But they was mama and daddy nice. They wasn't no friend. They wasn't my friend. I don't know what's up with this new generation. It was clear. This is mama. This is me. This is daddy. This is me. This is friend. A friend is equal. My children they ain't equal to me. Never. Then his grandson, daddy, and daddy. Grandson, his daddy, then his granddaddy. None of us is equal. When I was growing up, even your grandmama wouldn't let you get equal, try to be equal to your mama. Your grandma be like, I don't know who you think you're talking to. That's your mama. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's up with this new generation. You can't raise no children and be their friend. How you going to be their friend? You the parent. You don't have to be mean. You're the parents. Parents aren't mean, but parents are parents. They're going to be whatever necessary to keep you in line. They're going to make you feel good when you're doing good things. They're going to be there to comfort you. They're going to make sure you got clothes. They're going to make sure you got food. They're going to make sure you're living a happy life. And they're going to make sure they're standing on your neck when you're going the wrong way. They ain't going to let you go the wrong way. Then, well, I don't know what's up with the new parents. How your kid keep coming in with all these D's and F's on their report card? What? The worst parents in the world. I can't even imagine your child coming in failing. Ain't no child I raised failed in no class. We don't do F's and D's. That's not tolerated. Now, if you're a mom and a daddy and your child could fail, you as a bum. You was detrimental to your children. It ain't nothing wrong with them. It's you. You messed your children up. You the reason your son in jail. Because if you're a good parent, he still might go out there and go to jail, but he ain't going to keep on going to jail. He ain't going to keep on going. He's going to straighten up because he wasn't raised like that. He might get in trouble, but he ain't going to be like the rest of them criminals. He going to be different. She going to be different. She going to have an alternative because you taught them to have an alternative. So they going to go, oh man, this ain't working. Let me go do alternative the way I was raised. I ain't. But the dumb one don't got no alternative. You just sending them to the grave and to the prison. You ain't giving them no alternative to know the decent way to live. They don't know nothing but to be stupid. And when you stupid and you don't get no education and you can't think, you're going to always be negative. How you going to be positive? You dumb. You know, I've met women that, grew up, had a bad childhood and stuff like that and grew up kind of like that. And what they do? They turned it around, went back to nursing school, went to learn something, became a whole productive citizen. So then when they have children, they children standing on something because mama went and made something out of herself. And these parents are the ones sending these boys to prison like that. Yeah. If you dumb, you ain't going to beat no case. They ain't never took him to church. They ain't never dressed him up or nothing. So when he got a court case, he got a shirt and a tie. You could tell he never wore a tie before in his life. You can look at me and tell me I wear ties a lot. I've been to churches. I've been to cotillions. I've been to stuff. That dumb boy that never been nowhere, when he go to court, you can look at him and see he just went and bought that, just took that bag and that tie out of a bag. The judge could see he don't never dress like that. So how you gonna prove to the judge that's really you, and it's your first time putting on a tie and a shirt, and you standing in front of the judge? The judge look at this phony ass. Look at you on your mug shot. Look at you now trying to fool me. Then went and put that tie on in that shirt. Boy, you don't fool me. You don't even look comfortable in that. You know what I'm saying? You don't even look comfortable in it. For the young brothers out there, if you don't never wear a shirt and a tie and you get in trouble and you got to go to court, do not wear a shirt and a tie. Wear like a sweater and a little shirt. Just wear a shirt, unbuttoned, and a sweater so you look normal. Don't try to fool the judge and put on something that you don't never wear. The judge could see through that. Be regular. Don't go looking like you from the hood, but put on a sweater and a shirt. You can put on a button-up shirt. Just don't button the neck up. Leave the neck open. You'll still look normal in that. Make sure the shirt fit nice. Put on a little sweater. And when you go to court, say, "Good morning, Your Honor. How you doing, Your Honor?" Speak. Act like you got some type of, like you somewhat civilized. That's gonna help you beat your case. But don't go in there trying to dress some kind of way you don't never dress. Everybody can see. Look at him. Lock his ass up. He phony. I know I've been in court a lot. I see you when you come in there. I say, why they let him dress like that? He look uncomfortable. Big old fat old knot on the top. It ain't GQ. You see my tie GQ? I tie this myself. You can tell that's what I do. Come on, bro. Stop going to court like that. No, you don't look comfortable, and the judge can see you trying to fool the judge. The judge only gonna respect you if you be real. Just put on a little shirt, button up, leave the top unbuttoned, and put on a little sweater and some pants and some plain shoes. Don't wear no tennis shoes. And go in there. Every time you come, put on something. You got to spend some money. You went and got in trouble. Okay, every time you go to court, you got to spend some money. So you need to have on a shirt, a different sweater, different pair of pants, different shoes. So the judge look and say, well, he's halfway decent young man, and you got to speak. I know you don't speak, but you got to say, good morning, Your Honor. When he get through with the case, say, thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day. Every time you go in front of the judge, good morning, Your Honor. Oh, good morning. Afterwards, have a good day. I tell the story all the time. I went to court. I had a case. I go in front of the judge. I say, good morning, Your Honor. He said, good morning. So, bye, 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 bye. When I leave, I say, have a good day, Your Honor. Okay. Next month, I go to court. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. He get through. Have a good day, Your Honor. Okay. Thank you, sir. I go to third month. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning, Pharaoh. Have a good day, Your Honor. You too. Bam. I'm getting somewhere, right? I go to court. I hear the stenographer lady say, oh, happy birthday, Your Honor. I go up in front of him. Good morning, Your Honor. Good morning. See, the first time I said good morning, like, good morning. Now he's like, good morning, right? I don't know, I ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So you know what I'm saying? Just for intelligent people, okay? If you ain't intelligent, don't come, right? So then, boom. Say, good morning, Your Honor, right? Say, good morning. After he get through, he say, okay, give me my next court date. I say, hey. I said, oh, by the way, Your Honor, have a happy birthday. Oh, okay, thank you very much, Pharaoh. Boom. So I come to court one day, and they say, when I walk in the front door, the guards say, Pharaoh, where was you at? I said, what you mean? So you were supposed to be here yesterday, right? So you're supposed to be here yesterday. I said, oh, yeah. He said, you're supposed to be here yesterday. He said, this the guard. Why? Because I'm always speaking. This the guard way at the front door. You got to walk in a big building and go to that courtroom. So this is the guard when you come into the building, not even into the courtroom. As soon as I walk in, he said, hey, Pharaoh, what happened to you? You were supposed to be here yesterday. I said, oh, I thought it was a day. He said, I told the judge that. He said, listen, go to that room right there, 204. Tell them you missed court yesterday. They're going to give you a piece of paper so you don't got to get locked up downstairs. Wow. Why? Because you speak. Just for the young brothers, you speak. Now, the person that say nowadays they would put me in the elder block. He's right. They would put me in the elder block, but this conversation ain't about nowadays. So that's why he's slow. This conversation is not about me because nowadays they wouldn't put me nowhere because nowadays I'm not doing crimes, right? So that was ridiculous. I don't know what the hell that's about. But if they did put me in the block with him, he'll act right. I just say that. He'll act right. Because it's rank and file if he know what I'm talking about. So they could put me on the block with him, he wouldn't do nothing. And Well, I ain't gonna say that part. But yeah, they could put me in the cell with you. Whoever made that comment. They could lock me up with you. I think so. You couldn't go to PC because you like to gamble. You ever been locked up before? 'Cause you got a picture of Dr. Umar, so you're not really legitimate. I mean, who's gonna take you serious? Your name is Panama Jack. You got a picture of Dr. Umar. I can't believe nothing you say. Like you're not a real person. You know what I'm saying? You did 6 years in Florida. Is that like something to brag about? Yeah, he's got a picture of Dr. Umar. He come all the time though, so he ain't no problem. He come all the time. So he cool. That's my man, Panama Jack. He cool. You know what I'm saying? He cool. Panama Jack cool. He come all the time. He don't be out of order. He said he did 6 years in Florida. I'm trying to teach people how not to do no time. You all good, Panama Jack? You know I got love for you. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. You know what I mean? He good. I mess with Panama Jack. He always respectful. He always be on point over here. But he said he said you here talking about prison, Iran going to war with us. Here go the thing. Why you not watching that? So like who's slow? It's a whole big internet, right? With all kind of people talking about Iran. You click on something to say prison, and then you say, "Well, I'm talking to prison," but you clicked on it. Now let that sink in. You actually clicked on it. You're saying it's ridiculous, and you clicked on it. Now let that sink on. Plus, I'm a grown man. I talk about what you're supposed to go raise your kids, Barry. You're supposed to raise your kids and tell your kids what to watch and what not to watch. It. I don't know you. I don't owe you nothing. I don't even know you. I don't owe you nothing. I'm grown. I talk about what I want to talk about. And then there's a billion people on YouTube. Barry, there's a billion people on YouTube talking about all type of stuff. All of them should be talking. Let me ask you a serious question. Everybody on YouTube right now should be talking about the war. Yes or no? Give me a yes or no, Barry. Should everybody on YouTube right now be talking about the war? Yes or no? Just give me a yes or no. Should all the millions of people on YouTube right now, should they all be talking? Should every YouTube video be about the war? Yes or no? Just give me a yes or no. Second question. If I already been talking about the war every day, should I still be talking about the war all day, every day? What you think, Alden? Should I talk about the war all day, every day, all day? So when the news, Alden, when the news tell about the war, should all the rest of the programming on Channel 2 be the war? Channel 5? Like, is there that much to talk about? Is there enough to talk about all day? Is there enough new information about the war to talk about all day? Yes or no? Because to talk about it, you got to have information. Is there enough? Is there enough information to talk about that all day without saying the same thing over and over and over? Would you consider that good content if I repeat what I said this morning about the war and what I said yesterday or the day before and the day before and the day before? I didn't ask you that. I asked you, does it make sense? Should I repeat? You've been watching me. Because if I talk about the war, I'd have to repeat everything I said. Should I repeat that every time I go live? Should I repeat that all day? Would you do that if you was a content creator? If you was doing it, if you was a content creator, you would talk about that. You would go live and talk about that 4 or 5 times a day, every day, and you don't have a right to talk about nothing else because it's a war. So I don't got a right to talk about nothing else. I need to just talk about that all day. Later, I ain't raising children no more because it's a war. I ain't married because it's a war. I ain't eating right because it's a war. I don't got to go make no money and talk about making no money because it's a war. Don't I got other things go? Does the war stop other things from going on in my life? So now that it's a war, does all the rest of my life stop because it's a war? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm in Chicago and don't nobody give a damn about the war in real life when I go outside. And when I go outside and I go to the store and I go, nobody's talking about the war. Not really. Very few Americans give a damn about that war, to be honest with you. No, I've been talking about it for 4 weeks. I've been talking about the war for 4 weeks. This just show you the level. You see what I'm saying? That's really disrespectful because I've been talking about the war 3 or 4 times a day, every day. Every day. Now imagine somebody saying I should talk about the war more. Somebody that's not talking about the war on their channel. Like, show me where you're doing it. You're not. It's crazy when they want you to do something they're not doing. How you got demands from me when you got a mouth, right? Go talk about it then. Listen, if they got a mouth and they got a YouTube channel, why would they demand I do something? Can't they do it? They got the same YouTube I got, right? All right, if it's that important, let me see you go do it. Send me the link. The whole thing is asking somebody to do something that you're not doing. It's phony. It's phony. Trying to pretend something is real important for me, but not for you, is phony. It's phony. Making it something that I got to do because it's so important, but you don't got to do it. What the hell? You don't got to do it. I got to do it. Because you say I got to do it because that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see, and you demanded me to do what you want me to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. Listen, this is a YouTube channel. You people that want to hear about the war, y'all not the only people in the world. I have to talk to other people. People want to hear other things. I have a channel and I have a responsibility to talk to people. Everybody don't want to hear that all day. Now, you're not in the business and you don't have a channel, so you don't know what we have to do as content creators. We're called content creators. We're not called parrots. So we have to create content for a wide audience of people that want to see various things. This is why when you turn on your TV, you got channel 5, channel 2, you have different channels. Basketball still coming on, baseball, they got this. What are we talking about here? Turn on any channel that covers this, and soon as the news go off, they talk about something else. Now, dude, why don't y'all tell CBS don't have no other programming? Just CBS and NBC and ABC and CNN. They should eliminate all their other programming, and they should just talk about this all day, every day, 24 hours around the clock. Why you put them demands on me? Why I got to do something that the news channels don't even have to do? Make some sense. And then I got to be nice. I can't tell you to kiss my ass, get the hell out of here, right? So that's crazy too. Sometimes you forget who you're talking to. Look, do I look cooperative? Listen, I'm not cooperative. That's why Big Pharaoh got his own channel and do what Big Pharaoh want to do. The whole purpose of me being here is because I'm free. I'm free to discuss whatever I want to discuss. So come on, y'all, be more realistic. Just be cool. I'm not going to do an update until later. So let me teach. I'm doing updates on, but to do updates, right? If I talked about it this morning, to do update, what I got to do? I got to wait until there's enough events to update, right? So if I talk about what's going on with the war at 8 o'clock this morning, there's not going to be efficient updates at 9. There won't be efficient updates for 7 hours or so. At the soonest 5 hours. And then those updates are going to be just a few. So if you notice when I do updates, it's going to be like 5 minutes because there's not going to be a lot of updates. That's why sometimes I don't even come back with an update till the next day because there is no updates. You can only update when there's updates. And if there is no updates, I can't update. But at the same time, this channel wasn't born on that. My channel was born on Pharaoh Said That with various discussions. And I already built an audience. So I'm not gonna disappoint my audience just because there's people that just want to see that. You know, people want to see different things. I feel like I don't see where this discussion was unimportant. So that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. I feel like this discussion was very important. We got young people going to jail and prison every day. This war ain't stopping young black men from going to prison. They ain't stopping our sons from going to prison and going to jail. We as foundational Black Americans, listen, this war ain't finna stop me from talking about reparations either. Don't get it twisted. This is just one thing going on. Us as foundational Black Americans, we got a whole lot of stuff going on. Right? That's happening way over somewhere else. That's not even happening in Chicago, in the United States, or where we got more serious issues going on right here in the United States. We got issues now, especially Black Americans. You know what I mean? So it's all cool. I got love for y'all, but let's just get that clear. We got issues, right? And then when you come over here, you know, you want to hear about the issues. And then also that's better for my presentation for the war. Because other people will come watch things, and then when I talk about the war now, they'll be introduced to that. So this is a TV station. And to be honest with you, my other content suffered because I decided I was going to do the news, but the war hadn't kicked off. So when I decided to do the war news, then the war kicked off. So I had to spend so many hours trying to get used to talking about this war. So my other content kind of suffered while I was getting into the rhythm of talking about this war. So, but I still owe my audience what they've been getting. I can't cheat my audience just because I decided to tell the news. The news was supposed to be in between all my other content. So for those of y'all been watching me be wondering where my other content, that's because I was practicing the news. So I kind of forsake this a little bit while I got that up under my wings. Now I'm feeling like, okay, I got that pretty good. So now I'm getting ready to do more of my other content and the war. You understand? I'm not going to forsake my other content. But it's all love, though. I had to talk about this because this is a serious situation. The brother's talking about going to PC and not going to PC. I thought this was important. I think it's bad for young black men to think they got to go and be hard and they got to go. They can't go to PC. I think that's wrong. I think if a young man don't feel like he gonna be in population and he feels like he's safer in PC, why shouldn't he have the right to go to PC? And what are we trying to prove by having these different positions in prison? Prison is prison. You losing no matter where you at in prison. So the idea you got to be this tough guy in prison and you got to go with everybody else and you can't go to protective custody, I disagree with that. I didn't agree with it. I thought the idea that you can't go to PC was anti-gangster to me. To me, Boozy and them is talking anti-gangster. To me, they trying to talk about you got to go in population like that's gangster. No, that's not gangster. Gangster, you do what the fuck you want to do. I tell Boosie to his face. How you gonna say I got to go to population that's gangster? I go to PC and come out and tell you in your face, Boosie, and you won't do nothing about it. That's gangster. Because gangsters do whatever you want to do. So for him to say you got to do something to be gangster, I'm just saying I disagree. I'll go to PC and I'll tell Boosie in his face I went to PC. And he won't do nothing but accept that. I'll tell him to mind your business. Because a gangster do whatever they want to do. So I don't understand gangster rules. Gangster and rules don't go together. So it kind of irritated me. So that's why I'm talking about. It kind of irritated me. So I wanted to come over and say, yeah, I'll go to PC. And you won't do nothing about it. And you won't say nothing to me. So how you going to have rules for a gangster? How you going to say a gangster got to do what somebody tell them to do? That don't even make no sense. A gangster go to PC and then what? So will a revolutionary. Because you got revolutionaries out there too. And a gangster ain't as hard as a revolutionary. I got revolutionary blood too. And a revolutionary will go to PC. And a gangster, this is a gangster and this is a revolutionary. A revolutionary is the ultimate gangster. You other bootleg, y'all ain't even that. Because at what point you tell another man what he got to do, what's best for his survival. And population is full of damn losers and dummies. So don't try to act like that's no reward because I go to population and hear all that noise and with all you clowns. That is nothing to brag about. Young men, it ain't nothing to brag about you in population. That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That don't make you no gangster. because you went to population. Okay? Get the hell out of here. What make you a gangster in your mind? You do what the hell you want to do and what's best for you. Anybody don't like it to get smoked. That's a gangster. You can tell Boosie I said, I go where I want to go. He mind his business, raise his kids, and that's the only people he can tell what to do is his kids. I'm a grown-ass man. Okay? And I've been out here when he was little Boosie. I go to population. It ain't none of his damn business. That's my time. I do it the way I want to do it. At what point you tell another man how to do his time? Track like, oh, you gangster if you go. But then Boosie, the first one crying, Donald Trump, save me. I don't want to go to jail. Donald Trump. The same one begging Trump to save him from going to jail going to say that you need to go to population. And then his punk ass didn't want to go to population. He wanted Donald Trump to save him. All on the internet crying because he had to go to prison or population. How you going to tell somebody to go to population, little Boosie, when you was crying like a little girl? Now, man, you can't call that black shit and went to population. You was crying to Trump, begging your daddy, Trump. Trump was your daddy. You was on your knees begging Trump not to send you to population. Shut your ass up. You ain't even no gangster. Other people took your cases for you. Boosie ain't no gangster. Boosie a rapper. He not no gangster. He rap about gangsters. But he not that. He not that. Everybody know gangsters ain't got no damn rules. If you got rules, you ain't no gangster. What? Don't let nobody listen, young brothers, and I'm finna end this. Don't let nobody think to really be official, you got to be a fool. You got to go around the most losers. And if you're willing to go to population with all the losers and hold it in the worst environment, you a super gangster. Because you don't want to choose to go somewhere easier. To be a gangster, you got to go do the hard time, and you got to go in with the worst criminals, and you can't go and get time off and all that by going to PC. That's crazy. That's crazy. And Kodak Black is a big superstar, and you want him to go to general population. Boosie is dumb, okay? And you can tell him I said he ain't nobody. Hey, and rest in peace, all right? To Duke the Jeweler when you get through talking.